Hello, everyone. Welcome to your second Snap Take of the Day. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And we have two awesome decks for you today. We've got Man Thing Returns Darkhawk. Can't believe this. This deck is completely awesome. Um, Everyone I know who's testing this deck is throwing up 70% win rates. Three different people, 70% win rates with this deck that we're going to talk about. Man Thing Darkhawk. We've also got our boy Tucker with Destroy Deathstrike. Yeah, you heard that right. Destroy with Lady Deathstrike. Lady Deathstrike bringing basic Destroy back in the meta. Had to get this video out today while Destroy is still in Spotlight Caches, while Man Thing is still in Spotlight Caches in case they change your mind. Should you necessarily open Spotlight Caches for this? Depends how you feel about tomorrow's card. I will have first thing tomorrow morning a Black Knight video up, which will hopefully help you make an informed decision. If you can only open for one of the two, that Death Strike is a series 5, might push me more toward this, but so is Black Knight, right? Like, while Man Thing is series 4, do you need MODOK? It's extremely complicated. We'll get to more of that soon. Let's get going. But before we go too far, here's what I want to tell you. You need to sub. Several reasons. We bring you two decks every weekday. Decks that are ahead of the meta, decks that no one is playing yet, decks that can get you infinite. We released 2 yesterday. We went over like 8 decks this morning. We've got coming on the podcast this week for the anniversary of Marvel Snap 2 huge things, 2 huge announcements. Ready? Announcement 1. We're giving away some of that anniversary bundle. Make sure you're sticking around here. We're going to announce that either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're giving away some anniversary bundle. Make sure you don't miss that. Thing 2 on the podcast coming this week on the 1-year anniversary of Marvel Snap. We will have Glenn Jones interviewed playing one of our games with us on Snap Judgments. Don't miss it. Sub, like, comment, spread the word, yell it far and wide. Don't miss out. It helps us. It's free to you. Let's go. All right. Our decks for today are Norn's Darkhawk. You can find Norn on Twitter or Twitch at NornXP. Norn is awesome. Fantastic deck builder. Fantastic card player. The two other players I know who had 70% win rates with this are Devilish Play and Foster Snap. You can find them at the following names. They are two of my favorite people in all of Marvel Snap. Two people from the UK who I really wish I can get on the podcast, but time zones are a B. So we're doing our best, and they've both like yelled at me about how good this deck is. So longtime viewers will know when they tell us a deck is good, we know it's good. We've also got the Pirate King of Marvel Snap, Tucker's Death. This flag means death. He's on Twitter at twitter.com/Tucker and twitch.tv/Tucker. We're also going to, at the end of the video, if you're interested in that kind of thing, take a look at my daily shop, what I bought and what I didn't buy, along with why. All good? Let's go. This is Norn Starkhawk. It is a 70% win rate deck consistently in the hands of multiple players. It looks sort of like your standard Darkhawk, right? The cards that you have always seen, or you've seen a Darkhawk for months here. You've got your Korg, you've got your Rockslide, Darkhawk, Shang-Chi, Zabu, Iron Lad, and Doom. That's 7 cards, which leaves 5 extra cards. So what are we doing with those 5 extra? Well, we added what I'm starting to think of as the Luke Cage package. Sorry, or the Man Thing package, I guess is more accurate because Luke can just sort of get dropped in. If you're running Man Thing, you probably also run Shadow King and Luke. That gives you such amazing play against the opposing Elsas that are everywhere because, like, they get +3 and now they're only getting +1. You basically turned it into a Blue Marvel. But you can get rid of that with the Shadow King at the end of the game. If they're running Luke, you've got Rogue. If they're running Mobius, you've got Rogue. So you just make your choices wisely. And of course, you have the ultimate escape valve of Marvel Snap, Shang-Chi. But Shang's not always a great play because Alioth is everywhere, so you also have Doom. It's awesome. This deck is really, really great. It has a lot of viability. This version of the deck doesn't exist without Man Thing. Man Thing is a way to punish those Loki and bounce decks is really important, while Black Widow as a way to say, forget your draw, as she has gotten significantly better since her Widow's Bite is a negative. Just great plays, just great cards, right? So it took our new card being released and a -1, although in fairness, Mobius has only been out, what, 3 weeks now? So Darkhawk was out of the meta for 3 whole weeks. Welcome back, Darkhawk. Never out for long. One of the best cards they've printed. All right, this version needs Zabu Darkhawk Command. I don't think it exists without it. But you don't need Iron Lad. In fact, this version might just be better with America Chavez. America Chavez means you see Zabu on 2 more often, and Zabu on 2 is backbreaking. It's game winning. It's stellar. You don't need Zabu on 2 though, so let's get to the play lines. So, turn 1 is Korg. Turn 2, Zabu over Widow over Luke. Now, don't hesitate to play Widow first if you think they might have Mobius, but might not play it. Cool. Turn 3, Rock Slide, or if they dropped a Mobius or Cage naked, feel free to just rogue it and take your stuff. I like a Rock Slide because, them drawing rocks is powerful, and you can always rogue later. Turn 4 is Darkhawk over Man-Thing, and Lad is what's in the deck. If Doom is in the deck and Darkhawk and Man-Thing are in the deck, Iron Lad's pretty good. Zabu is in the deck, Iron Lad's pretty good, etc. So, I guess Iron Lad's always kind of good, but look at their board and think through what you want. There's very little Shang in the meta, so Darkhawk is relatively safe here. If they've really committed to a lane with stuff like Elsa, Man-Thing is probably over Darkhawk. Turn 5, you can drop another 4, but over another 4, I generally prefer Rogue and Widow or Zabu here. Widow here denies their last draw, no top deck at the end of the game. I really would like Zabu here is perfectly fine if you want to go 2/3s on the last turn, and Rogue to ruin whatever they were using to stop you is great here, right? Like it gets your negatives back for Zabu, or it gets your takes their Luke at the right time once you've decided where you want to go on the last turn. And turn 6, you're gonna drop Darkhawk or Man-Thing and Shang, or you can just drop Doom. Any of that is fine. It depends on the board, right? They have a bunch of cheap stuff. You drop Man-Thing in one spot, you drop Darkhawk in another, you call it a day. They have a Naked Red Skull, you drop a Shang-Chi in one spot, and you drop a Darkhawk in the other. And, of course, you always have the option of just saying, they're going to Alioth me. Doom, let's just put 5 power in every lane. Call it a day. So strong. So cool. All right, variant talk time. We've got a 1 hip in Korg, 2 hips in Widow, 3 hips in Zabu, 4 hips in Lad, 4 hip deck. Not ideal, but not bad at all. I finally got my hip Zabu, y'all. I'm so happy to have a deck to play it in. I don't have hip Luke, but this is my favorite Luke. This is also my favorite Shang. I'm very happy to have them. Sadly, we have 2 non-variant cards here. I'm holding out for the Hitman thing. I didn't buy the really cool Venom Man thing that was in the shop yesterday. I'm waiting for the hip to come out. I would like a Shadow King. I just haven't seen a Shadow King I like in my shop. We've got 2 Winter Vacation variants, Rogue and Rockslide, as buddies. Got my favorite Darkhawk. This one actually feels really cool. I don't love super realistic art, but it's great. And we've got the best Doom, Emperor Doom. Don't at me with that baby nonsense. He's playing with the wrong toys. I say it all the time. He's playing with Avengers toys. He should be playing with Fantastic Four toys. Cut it out. This is the best Doom. Emperor Doom up. Although the Midnight Suns one gave him a bit of a run for his money, I'll still take Emperor Doom. This deck is great if you can play it with these. Please try it. I'm aware that it is quite expensive. Don't let Iron Lad be the reason you don't play it, though. Iron Lad is completely fine as American. If you're for some reason America hater, Iron Lad is completely fine as go for it. Just as you play these cards, make sure you think about what it could pull, right? Like if you're going to Iron Lad and you know you might get a Shang-Chi and you know they have something that might hit or a spot that they might play something like that, play Iron Lad in the right spot. Our next deck is Tucker's Death deck. I love this deck with one minor exception. This is a very, very cool deck in that it's the best deck for Lady Deathstrike right now. I am sad for no America here. I'd probably run America over Lad personally, but I get what Lad is doing here. A Lad that hits like a Venom or a Carnage or Wolverine or an X-23 is stellar, right? Like if Lad randomly hit Deadpool and just came back to your hand as a 12, you're not sad to have a 4/12 to play, really. Like there's a lot of stuff here. Forge isn't the word. Like there's just really, really good hits for Lad here. Death is the only bad hit, really. Assuming that you're playing it wisely and with intent. You've got lots of ways to make Deadpool big here. In particular, you've got Forge and Nova, and then it just gets big over time. The problem with death decks lately has been that Mobius turns them off. Well, here you've got X-23, which you can kill early to hopefully Lady Deathstrike on 4. And if you can Lady Deathstrike on 4, you kill that Mobius, you kill maybe their Elsa, stuff like that, and then you got a nice cheap death for yourself because you've killed a bunch of your stuff and a bunch of their stuff. Um, Nova's really great here because largely because of Deadpool. If you want a different version of this that doesn't run Deathstrike, check this morning's video. One version of this made the top 4 of the Lambie tournament without Lady Deathstrike with Hulkbuster. So make sure you check out this morning's video. Make sure you're subbing. You're just checking these videos out. They always have cool decks for people of all collection levels. Um, this is an expensive one. I'm aware this is an expensive one, but it's a really cool one in that it offers you a way to play Destroy, where Mobius has made Destroy really, really complicated to play. X-23, Deathstrike, and Null are needed. I guess you can try and replace Null with Alioth, but I wouldn't. You can also play Deathlock or America for Iron Lad here. Not having Deathlock makes me genuinely sad. I always feel like I'm short one Destroy card without him, but Deathstrike is that Destroy card, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, Deathstrike handles the Mobius problem, is basically the gist of this deck. So Deadpool is better than X-23 on turn 1, but if you have Deadpool and Nova or Forge, play Nova or Forge first. You then would like to kill these, right? You play the other one or the other 2 ones here, and then you kill them. So if you can play another one turn 3 with Carnage, that's great. If not, you can just drop Killmonger and get rid of all of them. You generally like to save Venom, but if you know you're going to play Deathstrike and then Death next, you can just Venom now. Then you can Deathstrike off whatever you need. If not, then this is where you're playing Venom. Turn 5, again, Deathstrike if you know you're going to need to death and see that Mobius stopping you. If not, you're setting up for a last turn Deadpool and Null, using whatever kill you can to end the game with a Deadpool and Null play. Because you can get a Death, Deadpool, and Null play, or a Death and Null play, or a Death and Deadpool play. That also usually wins. Obviously, be careful of Alioth here, please. Alioth can ruin your whole thing, but like you should be wide enough and powerful enough to play around Alioth without too much trouble here. It's a really, really strong deck. Quick variant talk, we've got my other 2 of along with Gene, who we talked about in a video yesterday. If you want a sick Gene deck, make sure you check out yesterday's video. But we've got this really cool Nova. I didn't have a Nova variant, and I love this one. And I had a Death variant. I have the Mecha Death, which is great, but this Death is everything to me. Like, I love this Death, so I had to grab it. I did. So we've got the Nova and Death from the Midnight Suns. I opened a Spotlight 1 for this Wolverine, which is great. It also goes really well with this Lady Deathstrike, which I just happened to open, and the Wolverine that they gave us in whatever they gave us this Wolverine for. Season Pass, I think. This is animated, is one of my favorite cards in all Snap. I'll never upgrade it past regular gold. We've got our Carnage and Venom by the same artist whose name is now gone. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments about it, but hey, what are you gonna do? Sadly, this is a 2 hip deck. Thanks for being in the deck, lad. Of Killmonger and Lad. These are the best Killmonger and Lads. I will hear nothing else. I still don't love this Forge. I have 2 different Deadpools. I have Taco Deadpool and this one, but there's enough cartoony art here that I felt like this Deadpool was better for this deck. I don't know. I could see it being Taco. Whatever. We've got the Null I got in the Spotlight Cash when I was opening for Gene as well. So there's 2 Spotlight variants here. Not bad. And then 2 Midnight Suns variants, and then 2 Jacinto. There's the name. It just came to me. 2 Jacinto variants. The Deathstrike and X-23 look really good together. 2 hips. It's got a lot of duality to this deck. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right. This is my shop for the day. I had the brand new Sabretooth, like so many did. Giganto, which is whatever. Um, the Venomized Red Skull. Mantis. Adam Warlock. Quinjet. Pixel Psylocke, and Domino. So I have a decent Domino. I'm not opening another Domino. I have the hips for both Mantis and Adam Warlock, and once I have a hip, there's no point opening anymore. Same thing for Giganto. That is multiple hips. I consider this Sabretooth, but A, I don't play Sabretooth a lot, and B, I have this reasonably cool Sabretooth. It grows on me and doesn't sometimes how much I like it. I also have the 3099 Sabretooth. So I have 2 okay Sabretooths, no real reason for that. I hate Red Skull. I'm anti-Nazi in game. I'm anti-Nazi in life. I don't like that Red Skull's a card. I'm certainly not spending 1,200. I don't especially like Venomize stuff, so I'm certainly not spending 1,200 on that nonsense. Not buying a Pixel Psylocke, although that is one of the last 20-ish cards I need variants for, which is sad, but what are you going to do? I did buy this Quinjet, though. I have this other great Quinjet. Now I have two good Quinjets. I don't usually do that, but the propellers on the Steampunk one actually go, and that's so cool. So I have two good Quinjets, so I can switch between them at my leisure in decks, which, I'm for. Finally, I bought the Hell Cow bundle a couple days ago, and I really like this Hell Cow, and I'm happy. I'm like, I'm done with Hell Cow. Hell Cow is another one of those 20 cards I don't have a variant for, right? And I'm like, I'm done. So today the mystery variant comes up. I have Google Play, so I have the $2 Google Play coupon that I can use fundamentally infinitely. I have a bajillion points because I never spent them on anything before Snap. So I was like $3 for a mystery variant and 600 whatever, 600 credits. Yeah, why not, right? Well, it gave me the hip Hell Cow, and what have we been saying all video? Hips over everything. So now I bought this utterly useless Hell Cow variant because I got a hip that I'm gonna play. Um, it's also ridiculous how similar these two are, right? Like these are two seriously similar cards. What are you gonna do? Can't be sad that I pulled a hip though, right? Just wish it was a day or two sooner. All right, that is the variants for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know how you feel. Please hit that sub button. Please like, please comment. It really helps us out. We'd really appreciate it. Don't forget, later this week, giveaway, Glenn Jones. Don't miss out. Thanks for watching. Peace.